Now today we're taking a look at my top 5 decks of cards for Cardistry alone. So I'm going to be doing an entire month of all top 5s on Sundays, on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, on Fridays, and Saturday. So it's going to be a ton of craziness. So if you are interested in this, subscribe and ring the bell, smash the like button, and let's get into this top 5 Cardistry decks right now. It is the Cardistry Fanning deck by Bacopo Playing Cards. This is such a super cool deck, and I'll show you why. When you look at this deck, it is a Cardistry deck. It says Cardistry Fanning, and when I say it that it means it, it means it. I mean, just look at that. Even when you look at the thumbnail right here on the screen of the giant fan, which I did a tutorial on, I used these cards to be able to make that happen. This deck looks beautiful in every single way when it comes to any fan whatsoever. So this is why this is my number 4. We have the Squeezers V3. So super cool deck. Just first of all, it is a deck that has foil all the way around it on the tuck box, which is actually the second time that OPC did that. And the other thing is that this deck, when you're looking at it, has this on both sides. So you have the grapefruit there. So when you're doing packet cuts, you're going to be able to see it spinning around so much easier. And oh my gosh, it looks so good. Plus with that little tiny border, it really makes packet cuts look fantastic. So if you're more of a packet cut person, this is the deck for you. We are looking at Jazz Stripes playing cards. Again, this is such a cool deck. It has a super cool tuck box as well, but you're going to have to wait for that video until Tuesday. Again, super cool, but this is the reason why. Look at this. So first of all, it goes white, and then you have this really, really awesome blue. And you have purple and a little bit of pink in there. I don't know if you can see that as well, but there is a little bit of pink. So when it breaks that border there, your fans and packet cuts just look gorgeous. And this is a thicker but softer stock, which is not normal for most Cardistry decks. So they decided to go with Got Magic, and Got Magic put out a premium stock, a crushed but premium stock. So it feels super soft, but a little bit more on the thick side. Now you obviously knew that number 2 would have to be the Virtuoso Fall Winter 17 playing cards, because Virtuoso puts out amazing Cardistry decks. We all know it is the truth. Unfortunately, it has been quite a long time since we've got any decks from Virtuoso, but when you look at a deck and it looks like this, and you get different fans depending on which way you do it, it has a circle back, it has different fans, honestly, it's borderless, it's just a gorgeous deck. So when you have a deck that literally is going to sell out like 50,000 in minutes, this is a deck for Cardistry. And another thing that's really cool about this deck is it's a super thin stock. I swear it's like double crushed or something. I do not have a single deck in my collection, which in all fairness, there's quite a few of them, that is as thin as this deck. This is the thinnest deck that I have, no question, which makes it fantastic for Cardistry. Now before we get into the winner, we have 2 honorable mentions. First, we're looking at the Tahoe Blue Cherry Casino playing cards. So absolutely stunning deck. So even when you're just looking at the tuck box, which you could technically use for Cardistry, which would be more like Boxistry, I guess. But the best thing about this deck is, one, you have the opposite of a broken border. So it actually goes into it, which is awesome, and you get this white cigar band here, and you have a metallic ink. So when you're doing this, you're going to have that, and it's honestly just beautiful. So fantastic for Cardistry. And the other one being the Orbit V5 playing cards. Again, this is such a gorgeous deck if you do not know already. Seriously, I mean, first of all, just look at the back design. What I mean by that. When I say this is a gorgeous deck for Cardistry, here's why. One, massive circle back design. So if you're going to do something like Hot Shot, it's going to look gorgeous. Hot Shot, any moves where the card goes spinning, Orbit V5s, or really any Orbit deck is going to look greatest. Personally, I like the Orbit V5s more because I'm loving this blue. And you have a little bit of an orange broken border. So when you do perform fans, that broken border is going to go all the way around. Now, it is a little bit of an older deck that I've had for a long time, so it clearly doesn't fan quite right. But just to give you a little bit of proof, when I say this is one of my favorite decks, you always know what deck a magician or a cardist likes the most based upon the wear and tear of the tuck box. And if you're looking at this side is all dented. We're missing one of the tuck flaps. This thing has gone through a lot of damage because I've just used it one whole heck of a lot. So if you want to check that out, all these decks that I'm mentioning are going to be in the description below, and a lot of them, including this one, they're all 10% off. So you can check that out below. But without any further ado, let's look at the number one cardistry deck in my collection. My favorite cardistry deck, number one, is the Z deck, and let me explain why. Number one, I love black and white. Now, when you're talking about black and white, this hits all the right spots. I love borderless decks. Again, borderless. So when you give this deck a fan, it's going to look gorgeous. Packet cuts look gorgeous. So if all around, when you're just talking about the main part of the deck, the back design is going to look fantastic. The part that puts this deck above everything else, besides the fact that they're not just horizontal and they're diagonal lines, so every way that you move the deck, it's all going to change. But here's why. It comes with 4 extra cards. Now, most of the time you have jokers or duplicates or double backers. This one has 4 double backer green cards, and what this does is you now have 4 green screens to use in your cardistry videos. So when you're putting together a cardistry video, you can literally have green screen playing cards, which is so cool. So if you want to check that out, again, all in the description below. This is my number one deck that I have for cardistry. And again, do not wait to subscribe and ring the bell, because we have so many things like this. More top 5s coming up all this month. Over 20 top 5s. Seriously, gonna be such a fun time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Card Perfect, signing off.